Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the owner of seasonandservevlog.com. So as you can see, things are getting pretty festive in here and we are really close to the start of the holiday season. So in today's video, I want to give you a really festive appetizer that you can make at home, my crispy baked shrimp balls. These crispy baked shrimp balls are super unique and you probably haven't had a holiday appetizer like this before. And we are actually foregoing the deep fryer today and we are keeping it nice and healthy by baking these crispy baked shrimp balls in the oven. And while these crispy baked shrimp balls are great on their own, they're even better with my homemade sweet chili and ginger dipping sauce. And I guarantee this is way better than any store-bought sweet chili sauce that you can buy. Before we get into today's video, make sure you head over to my Instagram and give me a follow there. And also, check out my food blog for lots of delicious holiday recipes. I just created a brand new holiday tab and you can go there for a bunch of holiday appetizer and holiday recipe inspiration, plus home decor and my holiday gift guides. Also, while you're on my blog, make sure to sign up with your email so that you get notified every time I post a brand new blog post. This is super easy and it's a really great resource to get holiday recipe inspiration during the holiday season, but also throughout the rest of the year. And also don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button down below and also hit that red subscribe button for more delicious recipe videos just like this one. So with all that said, let's get into today's video and I'll show you how I make my crispy baked shrimp balls. So we're going to begin by prepping the vegetables that go into the shrimp balls, and here I'm cutting up a red pepper, and this pepper is actually called a sweet tooth pepper and it's really similar to a red bell pepper, but the shape is just different. So if you have red bell pepper, you can definitely use that. So I'm just cutting it into nice thin strips and then I'm cutting it into a fine dice. And then once it's chopped up, I'm going to add it into a large mixing bowl. And next I'm going to chop up a scallion, so I'm just going to remove the roots and discard those, and then I'm just going to chop everything up super finely, and I also use the whites and the greens. I know some people don't like using the whites, but I think it's really great and it has lots of great flavor. So I'm chopping that up and then adding that into the mixing bowl as well. Next I'm chopping up 1 clove of garlic, and again I'm going to chop this super finely just so that you don't bite into a big piece of garlic when you're eating a shrimp ball. Once that's finely chopped, I'm adding that into the bowl as well. Now this next ingredient is optional, but if you like spice, I highly recommend adding it. And this chili pepper is actually called a Thai bird's eye chili pepper. So they are very spicy, so only use it if you like spicy food, or just add a little bit of it. But I like spicy food, so I'm adding a whole 1, seeds and all. And again, I'm finally going to chop that up and then add it into the mixing bowl. And next we'll prepare our shrimp, and here I'm using a pound of tiger shrimp, but you can use whatever type of shrimp that you like, or you can even substitute with spot prawns. That would be amazing in this recipe. I'm laying out the shrimp in a single layer on 2 pieces of paper towel to remove any excess moisture that may be on the shrimp. And you want to make sure you do this step because any excess moisture on the shrimp will kind of ruin the texture of the shrimp ball in the end. So to make sure it gets super dry, put some paper towel on the bottom and then blot it with some extra paper towel on top so that the shrimp are completely dry. And then once they are dried and there's no more moisture left, you can add them into a food processor. Once all your shrimp have been added to the food processor, put the lid on and then gently pulse the mixture to combine. And in terms of the texture, you don't want to get a totally smooth paste. You want it relatively smooth but still with a few chunks of shrimp in there just to get a little bit of texture when you're eating the shrimp balls. Once your shrimp have been blended up, you can add it into the bowl with the vegetables. And of course, if you don't have a food processor, you can totally do this with a knife. It'll just take a little bit of time. And then once your shrimp have been added to the bowl, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. And we're adding some baking soda here to give the shrimp a nice fluffy texture. We're also adding some sesame oil, soy sauce, panko breadcrumbs, and white pepper. And then we're going to give everything a good mix through. And don't forget, all the full measurements and directions can be found on my blog, and I will leave that linked in the description box below. Once all the shrimp and vegetables are combined, set it aside in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes to firm up. After 30 minutes, we'll get ready to assemble and bake our shrimp balls. Now, since we're baking them rather than deep frying them, I want to make sure that the bottom gets nice and crisp and golden brown. So to achieve this, I'm brushing a piece of parchment paper with some vegetable oil, just so that when I set the assembled shrimp balls onto it, we don't have to worry about getting oil on the bottom. It's already on there and it'll make sure the bottom gets nice and crispy. I'm also doing this on a dinner plate as well, just so that when we form the meatballs, we can set them aside without having them stick to our plate. Now to form our shrimp balls, we're going to take a tablespoon of the shrimp mixture and roll it in between our hands just as if we were making meatballs. Once you've rolled out your first shrimp ball, you can set it aside on your oiled dinner plate and then repeat the process for the rest of the shrimp balls. So to wrap the shrimp balls and get them nice and crispy, we are going to use some phyllo dough. So I'm going to remove the parchment paper and other wrapping that it comes in, and then use a sharp knife to slice up the phyllo dough into 1 centimeter thick slices. And when you cut it up, you'll create nice long ribbons to wrap around your shrimp ball. And once you're done cutting it up, just set it aside and cover it with a damp paper towel just so that it doesn't dry out. To wrap your shrimp balls, grab a handful of the phyllo ribbons and then lay them out in a crisscross pattern so that they overlap with each other on your cutting board. You want to separate them as much as you can, but if a couple of them stick together, it's totally fine. And in total, you probably need about 12 to 15 ribbons per shrimp ball. And simply place the shrimp ball in the center and then fold up the ribbons around the shrimp ball, aiming to cover the entire thing. And to get everything to stick together, just gently press it in your hands and fold any excess phyllo pastry underneath. Everything's assembled, gently pick it up and place it seam side down on the parchment lined baking sheet that we'd oiled previously, and this will help everything sort of stay in place and not fall apart when it's cooking in the oven. Then just repeat this process for the rest of the shrimp balls. And next we're going to use a pastry brush to brush a little bit of vegetable oil along the tops and the sides of each of the shrimp balls, and this will help it get nice and crispy and golden brown in the oven. Now take your time to brush these evenly and get into all the little nooks and crannies of these shrimp balls just to make sure you get them nice and crispy. Once they've all been brushed with oil, take them over to the oven and bake them for 15 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. After 15 minutes, increase the oven temperature to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for another 5 to 10 minutes or until the phyllo pastry gets nice and golden brown and crispy on top. To go along with our crispy baked shrimp balls, we are going to make a sweet chili ginger sauce that is perfect for dipping these into, and I guarantee this will be better than anything that you buy jarred at the store. To start, I'm using a microplane to finely grate some garlic and ginger into a small bowl. And again, I'm also using another Thai bird's eye chili pepper here, but again, if you don't like spice, you don't need to add this in. Once we have these all chopped up, we'll take it over to the stove and make the rest of the sauce. Heat a small pot over medium-high heat and then add half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, and half a cup of rice vinegar. Mix everything together with a whisk to dissolve the sugar and then bring the contents of the pot to a boil. Once boiling, reduce the heat and then add some sambal oelek sauce, ketchup, and the chopped ginger, garlic, and Thai bird's eye chili into the pot. And then add some soy sauce and then mix everything again to combine and bring to a boil. Finally, dissolve a little bit of cornstarch in some cold water and then add it into the pot to thicken the sauce. Bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for a few minutes until it's nice and thick. Then just remove from the heat and add it into a serving bowl. To serve, place these crispy baked shrimp balls on a large serving platter along with a small bowl of the sweet chili ginger dipping sauce. Garnish with a few limes and chili peppers, and there you have a delicious and festive holiday appetizer. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make my crispy baked shrimp balls. Once again, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video and also hit that red subscribe button below, plus the notification bell to get notified every time I post a brand new YouTube video. Also make sure to head over to Instagram and give me a follow there, and also check out my food blog for more recipe inspiration. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!